Why do lions sleep all day? Why do huskies love snow so much? What's the most beautiful bird ever? If you're up for mind-blowing facts that go way beyond the basics, hit that like and stick around. This is going to be fun.
So many questions. Why is the world spinning? Why is the moon keeping its orbit? Can rockets fly backwards? The facts you didn't know you needed. The Useless Show.
Cats leap up to 6 times their height for stealthy hunts. They pick up high frequencies, far beyond what we hear. And yes, most adult cats are lactose intolerant, yet that creamy milk still tempts them. Stick to water or special treats instead. The American Eskimo dog, often called the Esky. Don't let the name fool you. It's got no ties to Eskimos or Native Americans. There are 3 sizes: toy, miniature, and standard. They love family life, but need grooming. Their coats shed a lot. The Africanized bee, which has earned the common nickname killer bee, is known for its defensive nature. Bred in Brazil for better honey production. But they escaped and spread fast. Their venom isn't stronger. Just the sheer numbers make them dangerous. Peacocks are strictly the males of the species. Females are peahens. The full name for these birds is peafowl. A group is often called a muster, names that capture their showy, proud nature. Mount Everest's death zone lies above 8,000 meters. Atmospheric pressure falls to roughly 1/3 of sea level. Even though oxygen still makes up 21% of the air, the effective amount your body gets is only about 1/3. That's why climbers deteriorate fast without supplemental oxygen. Listen, if you keep birds, parrots, common canary, owls, any of them, never let them near avocado leaves. The whole plant contains persin, a natural toxin that's harmless to us but deadly to birds. It hits their heart and lungs fast. Even a tiny nibble can lead to weakness, breathing trouble, and sudden death. The common agama is a colorful lizard. It's often called the rainbow lizard. Males change to bright blue bodies and red or yellow heads when dominant. They live in small social groups led by one dominant male. As a cat lover who's seen plenty in practice, keep grapes far away from your cat. They can trigger sudden kidney failure, even if the cat seems fine at first. Never give them onions, garlic, or leeks either. These damage red blood cells and lead to anemia. The Airedale Terrier is the largest of all terrier breeds. People call it the king of terriers. Smart, brave, and versatile. Used in wars, police work, even as messengers. The Eye of the Sahara is a massive geological formation. It is clearly visible from space. Astronauts use it as a landmark because it stands out so sharply from orbit. It's an eroded geological dome, not a crater or impact site. Hoopoes really stand out with that stunning fan-shaped crest on their heads. It rises when they're excited or alarmed. These colorful birds walk on the ground, hunting beetles, crickets, and ants. Emus are large flightless birds native to Australia. They can't fly at all. Their powerful legs let them sprint up to 50 kilometers per hour. This speed helps them escape predators across open plains. Double-stuff Oreos have about 1.86 times more cream than regular Oreos, not a full double, as the name suggests. Experiments and independent weigh-ins consistently found this gap. Honeybees really can learn to recognize individual human faces. Studies show they do this using configural processing, basically seeing the whole face layout, not just separate parts, much like we do. It's impressive for such tiny brains. Temperate forests experience 4 seasons, with warm summers and cold winters. Deciduous trees lose their leaves in autumn to conserve water and energy. Leaves turn vibrant red, orange, and yellow before falling. A newborn blue whale calf can gain up to 10 pounds an hour from nursing. It's one of the fastest growth rates in the animal world. The calf starts at about 3 tons and reaches massive size quickly. Look, ostriches aren't just the biggest birds. They're seriously tough. Their powerful legs deliver up to 2,000 pounds of force in a single strike. This can easily break bones or kill a lion if it lands right. The hooded pituhui stands out as nature's most toxic bird. This poison sits in its skin and feathers, not made by the bird itself, but absorbed from the toxic beetles it eats. Local people have long known to avoid eating or even touching it. Touching feathers can cause tingling, burning, or temporary numbness. Humans are literally made of stardust. Nearly every atom in our bodies, carbon in DNA, oxygen in breath, iron in blood, was created inside massive stars billions of years ago. Those stars exploded as supernovae, spreading the elements that eventually formed Earth and us. Light pillars are stunning optical effects. They happen when flat, hexagonal ice crystals float in very cold air. The crystals act like tiny mirrors, reflecting light straight up and down. Penguins lose all their feathers at once during their annual molt. This is often called a catastrophic molt. It happens every year, so they can grow fresh, waterproof plumage. Chris Williamson hosts the popular Modern Wisdom podcast. He appeared as a contestant on the first series of Love Island in 2015. He's come a long way since then. Smart move pivoting to podcasting. Manitoulin Island sits right in Lake Huron. It holds the title of the world's largest freshwater lake island. At over 1,000 square miles, it's bigger than many countries. And yes, it's so massive, it has more than 100 lakes of its own inside it. Grapes can create sparks and plasma when heated in a microwave. It's not exactly an explosion. The effect happens best with 2 grapes touching or one cut in half, but still connected by skin. The Amur leopard, also called the Far East leopard, is truly one of nature's most incredible survivors. Adapted to harsh, snowy taiga forests, it has the thickest coat of any leopard. Fewer than 200 remain in the wild today. Polar bears may look snowy white, but their skin is actually jet black underneath that thick fur. The dark skin soaks up sunlight efficiently. Their fur isn't pigmented white. It's translucent and hollow, letting light reach the skin to warm the bear in the brutal Arctic cold. Mosquitoes remain the deadliest animal to humans by a wide margin. They don't bite to kill directly. They transmit parasites and viruses. Malaria alone claims hundreds of thousands of lives annually, and that's just one disease they carry. Calama sits in Chile's Atacama Desert. It's one of the driest spots on Earth. The claim that it has never rained there is a popular myth. In reality, rain is extremely rare, but not impossible. The Apennine wolf, or Italian wolf, is a unique subspecies of gray wolf native to Italy. Once nearly wiped out by hunting, its population has grown steadily to around 1,200 to 2,000 today. This resilient predator thrives on deer, wild boar, and smaller prey. Halos around the sun or moon form from light refracting through tiny hexagonal ice crystals in high cirrus clouds. These crystals bend rays at roughly 22 degrees, creating a bright ring. Starfruit is also known as carambola in many places. It's a great fruit. It tastes really good. The flavor shines best when it's fully ripe and shaped like a star. On average, tall people score slightly higher than short people on IQ tests. But it's a very weak link. It's not a myth. There's a small positive correlation. A group of waxwings is called an earful. Some people also say a museum of waxwings. It's a fun, unofficial name that fits their soft, high-pitched trills. Sloths may look super slow in the trees or on the ground, but put them in water, and they surprise everyone. They paddle strongly with those long arms and swim about 3 times faster than their usual crawling pace on land. It's one of their coolest hidden talents. The Sahara Desert wasn't always sand and heat. Roughly 11,000 to 5,000 years ago, during the African humid period, heavy rains transformed it into a green savanna. Rivers and large lakes covered much of it. Grasslands supported abundant wildlife. Elephants, giraffes, hippos, antelopes, and even crocodiles lived across the region. Peru is the only country whose English name can be typed entirely on one row of a standard QWERTY keyboard. Sharks truly do have one of the sharpest noses in the ocean. Their olfactory organs are packed with millions of receptors. They pick up blood at very low concentrations. The popular miles away claim is a myth. Real range tops out around a quarter mile for most species. Giant sequoias can live over 3,000 years. Their thick bark resists fire very well. It also supports epiphytic plants high in the canopy. You've probably heard of the technological singularity. It's a hypothetical future moment when artificial intelligence becomes smarter than humans. This leads to super-fast, uncontrollable tech growth. The idea comes from an intelligence explosion, where AI keeps improving itself faster and faster. Bonobos resolve conflicts through affectionate behaviors. They maintain peace in female-led societies. These societies live in the Congo Basin forest. Dragon fruit, also called pitaya, comes from climbing cacti that thrive in warm, arid tropics. Their stunning flowers bloom just once, at night and close by morning. Giant kelp is one of the fastest-growing organisms on Earth. In perfect conditions, it stretches up to 18 inches, or even 2 feet, every single day. That rapid growth builds towering underwater forests. The moon is slowly moving away from Earth. This happens at a tiny but measurable rate, about 3.8 centimeters per year. It's caused by tidal interactions between Earth and the moon. Pomegranates pack an impressive number of seeds, often called arils, inside that tough outer skin. A typical one has 600 to 1,000, but larger varieties can easily reach 1,400 or slightly more. It's one of nature's most seed-dense fruits. The General Sherman is the biggest tree on Earth when measured by volume, not height or width. Its massive trunk alone tips the scales at well over 2 million pounds. Ravens really stand out among birds for their smarts. They don't just react. They think ahead. They hide food caches knowing they'll need it later. A solar eclipse is one of nature's true spectacles. The moon lines up perfectly with the sun and earth. It completely covers the sun's bright face for a few precious minutes. The full darkness, called totality, is visible only along a narrow path. Pineapples really do demand patience. From planting a crown or slip, the plant grows leaves for 18 to 24 months before it even flowers. Then it takes another 5 to 6 months for that single fruit to develop and ripen fully right on the plant. These little darkling beetles are true survivors in one of Earth's driest spots. Species like Stenocara gracilipes use bumpy, clever backs. Hydrophilic bumps grab fog droplets, while waxy grooves let them slide off toward the mouth. Volcanoes don't just destroy. They create too. When lava from places like Kilauea reaches the sea, it chills quickly into black rock. Lychees are one of those fruits that look exotic and taste incredible. The outer shell is rough and bumpy, bright pink to reddish when ripe. Peel it away, and you get translucent white flesh that's wonderfully sweet with a floral note. This fruit comes from southern China originally, cultivated there for over 2,000 years. Look closer at an aspen grove in the Rockies. What seems like thousands of separate trees is actually one single living thing. Their roots link everything underground, sharing water, nutrients, and life itself. It's like the earth has one vast hidden forest quietly watching human activity. Tomatoes are botanically fruits because they develop from a flower's ovary and contain seeds, making them berries like grapes. In kitchens worldwide, though, they count as vegetables due to their savory taste and use in main meals. So both labels are right. Just depends who's asking. This dual identity sparked a real U.S. Supreme Court case in 1893. A big solar storm won't kill people with radiation. The real danger comes from knocking out power grids, satellites, and communication systems. In our hyper-connected world, that means hospitals struggle, water pumps stop, food spoils, transport halts. Cheetahs are built like living race cars. They blast from 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 3 seconds, faster than most supercars. Their semi-retractable claws act like cleats, digging into the ground. Tough paw pads and a flexible spine give them insane grip and balance mid-hunt. That's how they close the gap on prey in a heartbeat. You know what makes those stunning hot springs in Yellowstone so colorful? It's thermophilic bacteria, ancient microbes that love extreme heat. They form beautiful microbial mats around the edges. As water cools outward from the center, different bacteria take over. Cockatoos have this amazing trait. Some species show real blushing. The bare patches around their eyes and cheeks flush from pale to bright red or pink. It signals excitement, pleasure, or strong emotion. Palm cockatoos and others do it vividly during courtship or happy moments. It's like their version of a human smile. Pure visual communication. Many Americans brush only once a day or skip days entirely. Experts recommend twice daily brushing for 2 full minutes. If trends continue, future generations risk more tooth loss by middle age than today's adults face. Succulents, including aloe vera, store water right in their fleshy leaves. That's how they handle long dry spells so well. Aloe vera stands out because its gel is packed with soothing compounds, great for skin issues like burns or irritation. Gelatis are unique. They're the only living primates that graze mainly on grass, just like zebras or antelopes. They roam in huge herds across Ethiopia's high plateaus. These monkeys live at extreme altitudes, often sleeping on steep cliffs for safety at night. The idea that atoms are mostly empty space has been around for over a century. The nucleus is incredibly small compared to the whole atom. Electrons exist as probability waves, not point particles. So yes, there's vast emptiness, but it's buzzing with quantum fields and energy. These black and white colobus monkeys are absolute masters of the canopy. They bounce off branches like trampolines and soar distances up to 50 feet. A recent survey found that only about 14% of people would choose to live in the future. Around 45% would prefer the past. Many feel pessimistic about what's ahead. Fear of AI taking jobs plays a big role. Hollywood movies often show scary AI futures. This makes society seem less optimistic overall. Deforestation wipes out roughly 15 billion trees worldwide each year. That's mostly from agriculture expansion, logging, and infrastructure. Net loss is lower because some areas regrow or get replanted, but the gross impact remains massive. Octopuses are masters of disguise. They use special skin cells called chromatophores to shift colors almost instantly. All this happens faster than a human blink, even though they're colorblind. They also raise or flatten tiny bumps, papilli, to match any texture, smooth sand or rough coral. It's pure survival genius in the ocean. Parrots stand out with their vivid colors. Those stunning reds, oranges, and yellows aren't from a diet like in other birds. Parrots make their own pigments, psittacofulvins. These pigments help make them more resistant to bacterial degradation. Quokkas appear to smile constantly due to their unique facial structure. The mouth naturally curves upward. This earned them the title of the world's happiest animal. They're friendly toward humans and love posing for selfies. Their real happiness is more about looks than mood. Jackfruit truly stands out in the plant world. It grows straight out of the trunk and thick branches. This is called cauliflory, a clever tropical adaptation for heavy fruit. As the biggest tree-borne fruit anywhere, mature ones commonly hit 30 to 50 pounds, while exceptional specimens push past 100 pounds, with the current heaviest on record at about 119 pounds. The giant anteater is built for one job, devouring ants and termites. It has no teeth at all. Instead, it flicks its 2-foot-long tongue up to 150 times a minute. That sticky tongue grabs insects fast before the colony fights back. Most reliable sources settle on up to 30,000 insects daily, though some older reports say 35,000. That viral line about a mattress doubling its weight in 10 years? It's mostly hype from old mattress ads. A 10-year-old mattress gains noticeable weight from absorbed debris, dead skin cells you shed nightly, sweat, dust, and dust mites add up. It doesn't double as claimed. That's an exaggeration. Gravitational time dilation near a black hole makes time pass much slower. The intense gravity curves space-time deeply. Clocks close by tick slower than those far away. An hour near the event horizon equals years for a distant observer. This comes straight from Einstein's general relativity. Frankfurt is Germany's 5th largest city by population. It follows Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, and Cologne. With about 778,000 residents, it serves as Europe's major financial hub. Its skyline, full of skyscrapers, earned it the nickname Manhattan. The ocean generates at least 50% of Earth's oxygen. Tiny phytoplankton floating in sunlit surface waters perform photosynthesis to produce it. These microscopic algae outpace all land plants combined. One species alone, Prochlorococcus, contributes up to 20%. This keeps our atmosphere breathable every day. The dragon's blood tree is one of nature's real oddities. It stands only on Socotra Island in Yemen. Its bizarre umbrella shape helps catch mist in that dry, rocky place. Cut the bark, and out flows vivid red resin, dragon's blood. For centuries, locals and traders used it as a powerful medicine, a tough varnish, even dye and incense. Listen, most big cats hate water, but not jaguars. These cats swim strongly and confidently. In the Amazon's flooded forests, they regularly stalk and take down caimans. They also snatch fish with ease. It's one of the coolest adaptations in the cat family. Male emperor penguins balance a single egg on their feet. They cover it with a warm brood pouch fold of skin. This keeps the egg at around 38 degrees Celsius. Outside, Antarctic winter hits minus 40 degrees Celsius or lower with brutal winds. The Danube really stands out. It connects 10 different countries across Europe, from Germany all the way to Ukraine. That makes it the most international major river anywhere. Mountain gorillas, those impressive silverbacks, beat their chests as a classic display. It's not just drama, it's honest signaling. Larger males, produce deeper, lower frequency beats that carry far through the forest. This advertises body size, warns off rivals, and attracts females, all without unnecessary fights. The big myth is that black holes act like giant cosmic vacuum cleaners, actively sucking everything toward them. Not true at all. Gravity works the same everywhere, whether from a black hole, a star, or even Earth. If you're far enough away, you can orbit a black hole safely, just like planets orbit the sun. Only if something gets too close, crossing the event horizon, does escape become impossible. Tigers possess incredibly powerful hind legs built for huge leaps and explosive attacks. In rare cases, after death, rigor mortis can lock those legs. This sometimes lets the body stay standing for a while. Many lipsticks contain fish scales. Most shimmery lipsticks have this ingredient called guanine, or pearl essence. It's made from processed fish scales, usually herring. That gives the pretty shimmer and glow. Those stunning frozen bubbles you see in lakes, they're pockets of methane gas. Bacteria break down dead plants and organic stuff on the lake bed. This releases methane, which rises as bubbles. They form striking patterns visible through clear ice. Lemons aren't a pure wild species. They're a natural hybrid between the citron, thick rind, intense aroma, and the sour orange, bitter and acidic. Genetic studies confirm this parentage clearly. It likely first appeared centuries ago in parts of ancient Asia. Rambutans stand out with their bright red, spiky hairy shell, hence the name from the Malay word for hair. Crack one open, and you get translucent white flesh that's super juicy. The flavor hits sweet with just a hint of tartness, very similar to lychee, but often a touch more grape-like. Salt flats form in dry, arid regions. Water from lakes or floods evaporates quickly. This leaves behind thick layers of salt and minerals. The ground becomes a flat, white crust over time. Owls have tubular eyes, not round ones like humans. This shape fits big retinas into small skulls. It gathers more light for superb night vision. Forward-facing tubes create strong binocular overlap. That delivers excellent depth perception for precise hunting strikes. Red squirrels, despite being mostly solitary and territorial, show real compassion in rare cases. A mother will adopt an orphaned pup, but only if it's a close relative like a niece, nephew, sibling, or grandchild. She nurses it, protects it, and raises it alongside her own young. It's a smart evolutionary move, helping kin pass on shared genes. Adoption remains very uncommon. Studies over 20 years found just a handful of cases. Palm trees aren't a single type. They're a huge family with over 2,600 species. Dates come from date palms. Coconuts grow on coconut palms. Acai berries come from acai palms. All three are true palms in the Ericaceae family. Large parrots like macaws, cockatoos, and some Amazons often reach 80 years or beyond in captivity. With top-notch diet, vet care, and mental stimulation, a few have even hit the 90s. Smaller parrots? They top out much earlier, often 10 to 30 years at best. When researchers gently tickle young rats, especially on their backs and bellies, they produce lots of 50 kilohertz ultrasonic chirps. These high-pitched calls are a clear sign of positive affect. The rats often chase the hand for more, proving they genuinely enjoy it. Blueberries earned the name starberries from Native Americans. Each berry has a 5-pointed star formed by its calyx at the blossom end. This crown-like shape inspired legends of the Great Spirit, sending them from the sky during famine to feed hungry children. Geese appear to be the first birds humans ever domesticated. Strong evidence from ancient bones in China dates this to around 7,000 years ago, well before chickens. People raise them locally in villages for reliable food sources like meat and eggs. Whirlpools appear when two currents flow against each other, or when fast water hits an obstacle and spins. The Naruto whirlpools in Japan are a classic case. Powerful tides push water through a narrow strait 4 times a day, creating huge spinning vortices. Archaeopteryx really changed everything when it was found. Discovered in Germany back in 1861, this small creature, about the size of a crow, had feathers like modern birds. Yet it kept clear dinosaur traits: teeth, a long bony tail, and claws on its wings. That's why it's seen as a perfect bridge between dinosaurs and birds. Certain chicken breeds produce truly colorful eggshells. We're talking shades of blue, green, olive, dark chocolate brown, and even soft pink tones. It's all down to genetics. No feed tricks involved. Popular ones include Americanas for bright blue, Morans for deep chocolate, and Easter eggers for a fun mix of colors. Proboscis monkeys live in Borneo's mangrove swamps and river forests. They are superb swimmers among primates with webbed fingers and toes. It's a key survival skill in their watery, predator-filled habitat. Lizards really do live almost everywhere. You'll spot them on all 7 continents, except Antarctica, where it's just too cold for them. From scorching deserts to lush rainforests, rocky cliffs to city walls, they've adapted brilliantly. Over 7,000 species make it work in nearly any warm to moderate habitat. Pangolins are nature's little tanks. When danger approaches, they curl up instantly into a perfect, impenetrable ball. Their overlapping keratin scales, sharp-edged and tough, face outward like armor plating. This shields their soft underbelly and face completely. Most predators give up after a few failed attempts. They even add a nasty-smelling secretion from their tail gland to make themselves even less appealing. Asian pears go by the name nashi in Japan and many other places. People often call them apple pears too. They look round like apples. The texture stays super crisp and juicy. Unlike regular pears that soften up, nashi holds that crunch right to the end. Cherries, especially tart ones, contain natural melatonin, the same sleep hormone your brain releases at night, plus tryptophan to fuel serotonin production. Together, they promote relaxation, better sleep quality, and a calmer nervous system. Many people feel less wired after consistent use, especially as juice before bed. People often say about 50,000 spiders per acre in grassy spots. That's a lowball guess from older casual counts. In healthy green meadows or fields, arachnologists usually find way more, frequently 1 to 2 million or even higher in prime conditions. These tiny predators are everywhere underfoot, quietly keeping insect numbers in check. The idea that fig trees routinely send roots 400 feet underground is a myth that gets repeated a lot. In reality, ordinary fig trees, like the ones we grow for fruit, have mostly shallow to moderate roots. They usually go 3 to 6 feet deep, sometimes a bit more in loose, deep soil. That famous 400-foot record belongs to a single wild fig tree growing over echo caves in South Africa. Blood rain isn't actual blood. It's rain that looks red. The main cause is red dust from deserts, like Sahara sand, mixed into raindrops. Strong winds lift the dust high up. It travels far and colors the rain red when it falls. Sometimes algae spores or iron-rich soil play a role in specific cases. When it comes to melons in the U.S., watermelon wins hands down. Americans eat way more of it than any other type, often twice as much as cantaloupe. It's the go-to for summer picnics, hydration, and sheer volume consumed. Green sand beaches are rare and stunning. Their vivid color comes purely from olivine crystals, also called peridot in gem form. These form deep in volcanic magma, rich in iron and magnesium, giving that signature olive green hue. Over time, erosion from a volcanic cone wears away the surrounding rock. Because olivine is denser, it stays on the shore while lighter bits wash away. Guavas aren't just tasty, they're one of nature's real powerhouses. A single guava usually gives you way more vitamin C than an orange, plus solid fiber for digestion, potassium for your heart, and plenty of antioxidants that fight everyday wear and tear on your body. Eat the skin too if you can. That's where extra goodness hides. Some parrots use tools in the wild. Palm cockatoos shape sticks to drum for mates. Hyacinth macaws use wood to hold and crack hard nuts. Goffin's cockatoos craft 3-tool sets to open fruit and extract seeds. This shows impressive intelligence among birds. Loganberries are hybrids. They combine blackberries and raspberries. This mix gives them a special, tangy sweet flavor. Squirrels, and all rodents really, simply can't burp or vomit. Their bodies lack the right brain wiring and muscle setup to push anything back up. It's one-way traffic in their digestive system. That's actually why rat poison works so reliably. They can't expel it. Fruit stickers use FDA-approved food-grade materials, including safe adhesives and inks. They won't harm you if accidentally eaten once or twice. But they're not edible food. Peel them off before eating to avoid any risk and keep things clean. Early explorers and desert travelers used watermelons as natural canteens. These fruits, about 92% water, provided essential hydration on long journeys. Wild varieties in southern Africa's Kalahari Desert saved lives during droughts. Ancient Egyptians and later adventurers prized them for this reason. If you ever see 3 or more pugs together, you're looking at a proper grumble. The term stuck because these wrinkly charmers are famous for their constant low-level grumbling, snorting, and muttering under their breath. Giraffes truly hold the record for the highest blood pressure among mammals. At heart level, systolic pressure often hits 220 to 300 millimeters of mercury, roughly double what we see in humans or most large animals. Why? Pure physics. Their heads sit 2 meters above the heart, so gravity demands massive force to push blood upward. Yet their bodies handle it beautifully. No strokes, no heart failure. Arctic terns truly hold the crown for the longest migration on Earth. These graceful seabirds breed near the North Pole in summer, then chase endless daylight all the way to Antarctic waters for their winter-summer. They return north the same way. The route zigzags, so actual distance flown often hits 44,000 to 60,000 miles round trip, sometimes even more. No other creature comes close for yearly travel. Ballpoint pen caps once caused choking deaths, mostly in kids who chewed them. About 100 cases a year were reported in the U.S. before safety vents. Holes in caps now let air through if swallowed, slashing fatalities dramatically thanks to strict global standards. Dragonflies do have 6 legs, like every other insect, but walking isn't their thing at all. Their legs are built for clutching stems, perching, and forming a spiky basket to snatch flying prey mid-air. What they truly master is flight, hovering, darting backward, flipping instantly, and hunting with pinpoint precision. Sheep are true ruminants with one stomach split into 4 compartments: rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. Microbes in the rumen ferment tough grass and cellulose. They chew cud to break it down further. In the U.S., fresh potatoes typically cost 80 cents to 90 cents per pound. Potato chips average about $6.60 to $6.80 per pound. That makes chips roughly 7 to 8 times more expensive than raw potatoes. You know, saguaros are the giants of the cactus world. They commonly top out around 40 to 50 feet tall. Think three-story building height. A few exceptional ones push even higher. The record holder reached 78 feet before a storm took it down in 1986. They grow super slowly, so hitting those heights takes 150 to 200 years. Giraffes truly do have those striking dark tongues, often described as blue, purple, or almost black. The rich melanin pigment acts like built-in sunscreen. It shields the tongue from intense UV rays while they browse high branches for long stretches. Pretty clever adaptation for life on the savanna. Supercells are the most intense thunderstorms. They feature a deep, persistently rotating updraft called a mesocyclone. This rotation comes from strong wind shear. They last hours and produce huge hail, damaging winds, and most violent tornadoes. Though only about 30% actually spawn one, old-growth forests store far more carbon than younger planted stands. They hold massive amounts in large trees, dead wood, and deep soils built over centuries. Young forests sequester carbon faster, but old ones lock away much higher total stocks per hectare. Lemons contain strong antibacterial properties from citric acid and natural compounds. This makes lemon juice effective against various bacteria in lab tests. Beyond cooking, people use it in homemade cleaners to cut grease, remove stains, and freshen surfaces naturally. It adds a clean citrus scent too. Lorikeets, especially rainbow lorikeets, are true nectar specialists among parrots. Their standout feature is that remarkable brush-tipped tongue. It has a papillate tip, almost like tiny bristles, designed to sweep and soak up nectar efficiently while collecting pollen along the way. Coral reefs cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, often under 0.1%. Yet they support at least 25% of all marine species. This includes over 4,000 fish species, plus countless invertebrates. They act as vital nurseries and homes in nutrient-poor waters. Chameleons change color mainly for social signaling and mood display, not just camouflage. That's largely a myth. They also regulate body temperature. Darker hues absorb sunlight to warm up, while lighter ones reflect heat to cool down. Bright flashes often signal dominance or attract mates. A group of angelfish is called a company. That's the traditional term you'll find in lists of collective nouns for fish. It fits their graceful, social nature in the wild and in aquariums. Frost forms on surfaces when water vapor turns directly into ice. It skips the liquid stage completely. This happens through a process called deposition. Heat waves drive temperatures dangerously high and raise major health risks for vulnerable groups like the elderly and children. The hottest ever in the U.S. hit 57 degrees Celsius in Death Valley, California on July 10, 1913. Bald eagles are incredible engineers. They construct some of the largest nests of any bird. A new nest starts modest, but they return to it faithfully, season after season. Over decades, these eyries become truly enormous, often weighing a ton or more. The structure gets reinforced, not rebuilt from scratch. That's why old nests can look like small platforms in the treetops. Solar panels turn sunlight straight into usable electricity. Using the photovoltaic effect, they capture photons and generate power quietly and cleanly. This makes them a key player in the global shift toward renewable energy. No fuel, no emissions, just sun. A full Boeing 747 tank holds roughly 60,000 gallons of fuel. That could drive an average car, 25 to 30 miles per gallon, over 1.5 to 1.8 million miles. Earth's circumference is about 25,000 miles, so enough for 60 to 75 trips around the world. Robins signal early spring with their arrival and lively presence. They sport vivid orange-red breasts that stand out against graybacks. Males sing rich, melodic carols at dawn, often described as cheerily cheer up, to claim territory and attract mates as days lengthen. Atlantic salmon, or salmo salar, meaning the leaper, are anadromous fish. They hatch in freshwater rivers, migrate to the ocean to grow big and strong, then return to their birth river to spawn. Many survive spawning and repeat the journey. They can leap over 3-meter obstacles. Hydroelectric dams capture the natural power of flowing rivers. They store water in reservoirs, then release it to spin turbines. This drives generators that create reliable, clean electricity for entire regions. The U.S. once produced over 2 billion pencils each year. Today, domestic output is lower, around 70 to 100 million from a few factories. Worldwide, more than 14 billion pencils are made annually. Laid end to end, they would circle Earth over 60 times. That's a lot of writing power. Apples are built for storage. Keep them cool, around 32 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit with high humidity. And most hold their crispness and flavor for months. Certain varieties, like Fuji or Honeycrisp, do even better. Home storage gives you weeks to months. Commercial cool rooms push it further. An Aussie Doodle is a cross between an Australian Shepherd and a poodle. It's also called an Aussie Poo sometimes. These dogs are smart, energetic, and friendly. They come in mini and standard sizes. Olives are botanically fruits, specifically drupes like peaches, with a pit inside fleshy pulp. Fresh ones are too bitter to eat due to oleuropein. We cure them in brine or salt to remove bitterness. They yield extra virgin olive oil, the main healthy fat in Mediterranean diets. Ants farm aphids in a true symbiotic relationship. They protect these tiny sapsuckers from predators like ladybugs and wasps. In exchange, ants milk the aphids by stroking them, collecting the sugary honeydew they produce as food. Some ants even move aphids to better plant spots or carry them to new nests. Ducks stay dry thanks to oil from a gland near their tail. They spread this oil during preening to coat their feathers. The oil plus the tight feather structure makes water bead up and roll off. This keeps them warm, buoyant, and perfectly dry, even in cold water. Monarch butterflies are famous for their epic migration. Each fall, eastern populations fly up to 3,000 miles from Canada and the U.S. to central Mexico. They overwinter in dense clusters on high mountain fir trees. This multi-generational journey repeats every year. In the wild, parakeets form large flocks for protection. Safety comes from many watchful eyes, spotting predators quickly. Massive groups confuse attackers during flight. Flocks range from dozens to thousands, or even millions in big years, across Australia's outback. Crabs scuttle sideways because their legs attach along the body sides. The main leg joints act like sideways hinges. This setup lets them move much faster laterally than forward. It helps them escape predators quickly on beaches or reefs. Ghost crabs reach top speeds this way. Pineapples are easy to propagate. You can grow a new plant from the leafy top of a ripe pineapple. Just plant it in soil after it roots. This makes home gardening straightforward. Asperitas clouds roll across the sky like upside-down ocean waves. Turbulent, wavy, and almost menacing from below. They often appear after thunderstorms fade. Despite the stormy look, the Asperitas feature itself almost never brings precipitation. Acid rain harms forests and lakes. It forms when pollution, like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, mixes with water in the air. This creates acids that fall as rain or snow. Trained seals, often sea lions, balance balls on their noses in shows. This trick highlights their quick reflexes and sharp senses. It's not just raw strength, it's clever coordination. The ozone layer is a thin shield high up in the stratosphere. It blocks most of the sun's dangerous ultraviolet rays, especially UVB, from reaching us. Without it, life on Earth would face much higher risks of skin damage, eye problems, and harm to plants and oceans. Wood ducks are cavity nesters. The female picks a hole in a big tree, often 10 to 50 feet up, sometimes even higher. She lays her eggs there, safe from most ground predators. Ducklings leap out days after hatching and drop straight down to the water below without harm. Lenticular clouds often get mistaken for UFOs because of their smooth, lens-like saucer shape. They form when steady winds blow moist air over mountains. The air rises, cools, and condenses right at the wave crests. These clouds stay almost still, hovering dramatically, even when the wind roars past. Barboot's cuckoo bumblebee, or Bombus barbutellus, is a parasitic species. It invades nests of the garden bumblebee, kills or dominates the queen, then uses the host workers to raise its offspring. No worker caste exists here. Herons hunt fish in shallow water with amazing patience. They stand still for minutes, watching closely. Then they strike swiftly with their long, pointed beak to spear the prey. Some species even use bait-like twigs to lure fish closer. The barn spider, Araneus cavaticus, is a North American orb weaver, famous as Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. Females build large wheel webs at night to catch flying insects, then eat and rebuild them daily. They hide by day in silk retreats near rafters or eaves. Toucans have oversized bills. These help them regulate body temperature. The bills also let them reach fruit more easily. Cloudbursts deliver sudden, extreme rainfall, often 100 millimeters or more in 1 hour, over a small area. They form in mountains when moist air rises rapidly, cools, and releases huge water loads. This triggers instant flash floods, landslides, and major destruction in valleys below. Meerkats post sentinels who stand tall on hind legs from rocks or mounds. They watch for eagles, jackals, and snakes while the mob forages. Rotating duty keeps the group safe. Alarm calls send everyone rushing underground in seconds. Estuaries blend fresh river water with salty ocean water. This mix creates nutrient-rich brackish zones. They act as vital nurseries for young fish. Sheltered waters hide juveniles from predators. Plenty of food helps them grow fast and strong. Many commercial fish species depend on estuaries early in life. People eat kumquats whole, skin included. That's what makes them special among citrus fruits. The thin peel is surprisingly sweet and aromatic. It balances the sharp, tangy burst from the flesh inside. Just pop one in your mouth and bite down for that classic sweet tart explosion. The angled sunbeam caterpillar, Curetus acuta, is bright green and lives in Asian forests. It has 2 rear periscopes that shoot out whirling, tentacle-like pom-poms when threatened. This flashy defense distracts predators, possibly with scent too, giving the larva time to escape. Spotted hyenas produce their famous giggle as a social signal, not from humor. It expresses frustration or excitement during fights over food or threats. The call reveals age through pitch, dominance via steadiness, and even individual identity. This helps maintain order in their complex clan hierarchies. Cirrus clouds are high-altitude wisps. They often signal fair weather, but they can also mean an approaching front is coming. Giraffes in the wild sleep only about 30 minutes a day. They take many short naps, usually 1 to 5 minutes long. Most rest happens while standing to escape predators quickly. Lying down is risky and slow. This tiny sleep total is among the lowest for any mammal. Most Amazon parrots rock a striking emerald green base plumage. That's perfect for blending into rainforest canopies. Then come those bold accents: red crowns, blue faces, yellow heads, or napes. Depending on which species you're looking at, it makes each one instantly recognizable. Wolves hunt in tight family packs using clever coordination. They test herds for weak animals, chase over long distances, and flank to tire prey. This teamwork lets them take down large animals like elk, moose, or bison, much bigger than themselves. That wonderful, fresh, earthy aroma right after rain? We call it petrichor. It comes alive when the first drops hit parched soil, releasing hidden oils and compounds trapped there. Most people love it because our noses are wired to detect it strongly. Cheetahs are fascinating. They purr continuously on both the inhale and exhale, like your average house cat. But they never roar. That's because their throat bones form a fixed, rigid setup. This lets them purr freely, but prevents the deep booming roar you hear from lions or tigers. People are talking a lot online about switching to a 13-month calendar. The proposed 13-month calendar gives every month exactly 28 days, 4 full weeks. This creates a fixed, predictable year, where dates always land on the same weekday. The taiga biome is the world's largest land biome. It features dense coniferous forests of evergreen trees like spruce, pine, and fir. These trees are perfectly adapted to extremely cold climates, with long, harsh winters lasting 5 to 7 months and short, cool summers. Snow covers the ground for months each year. Plantains are close relatives of bananas, but far starchier and lower in sugar. They're almost always cooked, fried, boiled, baked, or mashed, in tropical cuisines. Unlike sweet dessert bananas, plantains stay firm when ripe and serve as a staple vegetable in many regions. Octopuses escape predators by squirting a thick cloud of ink to confuse vision and dull smell. They then use jet propulsion, forcefully expelling water through their siphon to shoot away rapidly. This combo gives them precious seconds to hide or disappear. Ball lightning forms rare glowing spheres during thunderstorms. These orbs float, drift slowly, and glow in colors like yellow, orange, or blue. They range from pea-sized to a meter wide and last seconds to over a minute. Eyewitnesses report them for centuries. Scientists still lack a full explanation. In 2005, the Russian government decided to arm some postal workers with revolvers or pistols. This protected staff carrying cash and pensions from frequent robberies. Only certain roles, like drivers and cash handlers, received weapons and training. No broad arming of all mailmen exists today. Jupiter spins once on its axis in about 9 hours and 55 minutes. It is the fastest rotating planet in our solar system. This speed creates a strong magnetic field, fierce storms, and an obvious equatorial bulge. The planet flattens slightly at the poles because of it. Arachnophobia ranks among the most common specific phobias worldwide. Surveys often place fear of spiders ahead of fear of death in lists of top fears. This highlights how immediate, visible threats can feel scarier than inevitable, but distant ones like dying. A U.S. dime has precisely 118 ridges around its edge, known as reeding. These grooves were originally added to prevent people from shaving precious silver off old coins. Today, they remain for tradition, security against counterfeiting. Chaparral shrublands face fierce wildfires regularly. Many plants are fire-adapted and bounce back fast. They re-sprout from tough root crowns or germinate from seeds triggered by heat and smoke. This regeneration happens within months to years, restoring dense cover and helping the habitat recover. Twitter, bought by Elon Musk in 2022, was rebranded to X in July 2023 to become an everything app. The domain switched to x.com in 2024. In 2025, Musk's X AI company acquired X for $33 billion in stock, merging social media with AI. Patagonian conures dig their own nest burrows right into cliffs of sandstone or limestone. These tunnels can reach 3 meters deep and form colonies of thousands. This protects eggs and chicks from fierce winds, cold nights, and predators in Patagonia's tough, open terrain. Roll clouds are low, tube-shaped Arcus clouds that stretch horizontally across the sky. They often form ahead of rapidly advancing cold fronts or thunderstorm gust fronts. Completely detached from storms, they roll slowly due to wind shear. This creates a striking, solitary wave effect. They're rare, but harmless on their own. If you're hungry for more recent discoveries, deep-thinking facts, and fascinating insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.